It now gives me great pleasure to present this year's Volunteer of the Year award to a member who has served Autumn year over year in numerous ways. His name is Radhakrishnan. Does anybody know who he is? All right, he is not known as Radhakrishnan for sure, but he's better known as R.K. Narayanan. Now you all know who he is. Through his tireless work in the Mentorship Committee, R.K. Narayanan has ensured that the wisdom of our veterans is passing down to our rising stars, securing the future of tech transfer. And through his dedication to the Better World Project, he has reminded us all why we are what we do, highlighting the life-changing innovations that move from the lab to the people who need them most. RK has been an indispensable part of the Autumn family. He's a mentor, a storyteller from our industry, and a true friend to this association. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome RK to the stage.
Thank you, Joy, for that kind introduction. Good morning, everyone. I'm standing here overwhelmed with gratitude, not just for this award, but for what it represents. This recognition is not just about what I have done. It is about what we have all built together as volunteers. Somewhere in this audience is the person who mentored me when I transitioning from the lab bench to the negotiation table. And somewhere here is the next volunteer who's going to move us forward. My path into tech transfer was anything but linear. At my first Autumn meeting 11 years ago, the same year, Steve became CEO of Autumn. I walked in understanding maybe half the acronyms, wondering, what am I doing here? Someone noticed I looked like a lost first-timer. They walked over, introduced themselves, invited me to coffee, and connected me with mentors. That one act of generosity taught me an important lesson. Our work is not just about deal making. It is about the relationships, the connections that Kevin mentioned, that makes those deals possible. The Mentorship Committee showed me that volunteering matters. You know what? Since the pandemic, our cohort of mentors and mentees have grown from 30 people to over 200 in 2025. And I'm glad that the committee has met that challenge this year again. The most powerful mentoring relationships were never about having all the answers, but about showing up with curiosity, vulnerability, and a commitment to grow together. The Better World Project grew from a question. John Fraser, where are you? He's the one who started this. It grew from a question we all hear. So, what exactly do we do? Today, we have over 700 stories that answer that with real impact. Children alive because of therapies developed in academia. Communities thriving because someone in here negotiated an agreement that built a company. When research funding is under scrutiny, these stories reveal a simple truth to policymakers. Cutting funding costs lives, costs jobs, and costs our competitive edge. A scientist once called me an innovation warrior. I love that title because it belongs to every tech transfer professional who shows up to champion innovation. Being a warrior is not about the biggest royalty check or the splashiest headline. It is about showing up again and again, being the bridge when everyone else sees only a gap, and seeing potential when others see just another data point. Autumn taught me how to do that. This community taught me negotiation. strategic thinking, and building relationships that last decades. When a mentee calls to say, I just led my first negotiation, or when a Better World project story lands on a policymaker's desk, that is the warrior spirit in action. The stakes have never been higher. Federal budgets are being rewritten. We are going to talk about that in the panel soon. Universities are being asked to prove their worth in ways we have never seen before. We need innovation warriors now more than ever. If you're already volunteering, bring someone with you. If you have been thinking, maybe next year, this is your invitation. Join a committee. Mentor someone who reminds you of yourself years ago. Whatever your superpower, Autumn needs it. Thank you to Cold Spring Harbor for actively supporting my work here at Autumn. To my committee members, you inspire me daily. To the Autumn staff, you are the invisible engine that runs this show and the whole thing that Autumn runs every year. To my family, thank you for your endless patience. This award is not the finish line. It's just a fuel stop. I believe when we mentor one person, we set off ripple effects that touch thousands of lives that we'll never meet. I believe every volunteer builds that invisible infrastructure that carry academic innovation forward. Somewhere at this and future Autumn meetings, someone will walk into a room, feeling lost, wondering if they belong. Be the person who notices them. Be the person who invites them in. Be the person who changes their story. Thank you for this tremendous honor. Thank you for your friendship, your partnership, and your commitment to advancing our profession. Thank you all.